If you recall the story we had in the beginning of the appraiser, if that appraiser comes and says to the buyer that's buying this property is not worth what you're under contract for, that is something that every buyer has a concern when you're getting a loan with the home, right? So we're going to do a very in-depth analysis at the A-List team when we get your house listed for sale and look at what is the price per square foot here, what is the price per square foot here, what are the features and functions that might warrant you getting a higher price, and what are the features and functions that maybe detract and don't help you get top dollar. Can you change those things? And that's the conversation we're going to have when we work with you on picking a list price. An example of that, we had a listing recently. It was in a subdivision that had a more relatively new home, maybe 2 years old homes. Unfortunately, there had only been one home that sold in that area in the last 6 months, and that person was in a hurry. They sold in that market. That house was under contract in less than a week. So they sold at a very low price, not helping my clients ultimately get the money that they needed in order to sell their property. But we looked at the neighborhood as a big trend, which had a lot of older homes surrounding that small subset. And we looked at the increase that that neighborhood had with those school zones and other things. And we made a model showing the percentage growth from one point to another. And then we applied that back to the purchase price of their home and other similar homes at the time when they purchased that. And from that, we were able to actually get an appraised value that was higher than any home that had ever sold in that neighborhood. That's because we were able to take a look at the data and show the appraiser that, hey, this is how this market is treating these homes in that area. And although there's no supporting comparables in this neighborhood, it's a very unique home for these specific reasons, and that's why it's worth more money.